Hey folks, I'm Joe, and today on Big Fast Customs, we're going to throw together a engine run stand for all these Model A projects we've been working on, so stick around. Okay folks, so here I've got, this is a trash block. It's got multiple cracks in it. It's not good for anything but a coffee table, so I'm using this along with the flywheel housing and the front cover of the junk motor, and we're going to throw together an engine run stand so we can test these Model A engines with the gas. I'll have an attachment for the gas tank and the battery and all that stuff, because right now it's pretty cold outside. It's been raining and wet and icy, and after we get the junk motor together, I really don't want to haul it outside to put it in a chassis to run it. So it's about time I put one of these together. The junk motor is like the third motor I've done, and I know I'm going to have at least one or two more, maybe more in the future, I don't know, but it's a good time to throw together a run stand. So it's going to be pretty simple. I've got some scrap metal here. This was an old, I think it was a shelf. I've had it for years. I've been using it over the years for bracing on various projects and whatnot. But basically, I've cut 3 or 4 3-foot lengths of this. It's 1-inch tubing. It's about an 1/8 inch thick, so it should be plenty strong enough. I'm going to attach, I've already drilled it, I'm going to attach to the 2 front engine mounts and then to the 2 side mounts on the flywheel housing, and then we're going to measure to get everything even, and we'll build a frame for the bottom of it, and that'll be the simple part of it, and then we'll have to brace it a little more and add our attachments for the gas tank stand and stuff. So let me go ahead and get these bars bolted on here, and then we'll get back into it. Alright, so we've got the uprights on, and just measuring from the floor. I've already checked the block sits kind of level, or mostly level, but good enough definitely to run. So measuring from the floor to the tops of the scrap metal I've got here. This side is 47 3/4. And this side is 49. So what I'm going to do, I actually thought the back would be a little bit taller, but no, I guess it makes sense that the front's going to be taller. I'm going to cut them all off at 47. I'm going to measure from the floor, mark it, take them all off, we'll cut them, put them back on, and then they should be even, so that when we put the base on it and then flip it back over, the motor will be sitting even on the floor. So let me go ahead and mark these and we'll get them cut. Okay, so everything's trimmed down. We're at about 47 inches from the floor. It's going to put the engine up a little high, but I think it'll be okay. Actually, now that I think about it, that should put the motor, yeah, that'll be about here. Plus, we've got wheels for it, so it's going to be up about here. It's kind of high. Should I trim them down further? I think I need to trim it down further. Wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking it was going to be roughly about this high, but now that I think about it, well, the head's on it. If I flip this over, or the studs are on it, so if I flip it over, the top of the engine should be about here. Let's flip this over and see what it looks like. Could have done that a little more gracefully. So, yeah, the top of the engine will be right here. That's not bad, but I am going to have wheels on it, which would bring it up higher. I still think that's good. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. It can be a little high. If it gets to be a pain, I can always trim it down later. But I think that's good. Let's, we'll get it flipped over and we'll make a base for it and call it good. I don't think, I haven't put any kind of reinforcements around where the bolts go. I think the steel is thick enough. I'm not going to be cranking them down. So I think they'll be okay. If they start to crush, I'll add some in there, but for now, it's okay. It's actually kind of sturdy, so with the base on it, it should be fine. So, all right, let me get this flipped over and we'll get the base started. Okay, so my original thought was to add like 2 inches to the end of the base for the wheels, just to bolt the wheels onto. But I think that'll put it up pretty wide. Yeah, it'd be like 2 feet. I mean, I guess that's not too bad. Up here, it's definitely going to be a lot further. And then I guess we'll make the base from here to whatever it lands on up here. So yeah, let's do that. We'll go with 2 feet. So that's 2 inches hanging out. No, we need 20, say 23 inches. So we'll do 2 pieces. I've got some angle iron. I'm going to cut. We'll do front and a back piece. We'll get those lined up and tacked in. Then we'll put the side pieces on, and then we'll drill it for the wheels. Awesome. You know what? I should flip this over so that these are flat on the ground, because I know the edges of these tubes are not exactly flat. So let's do that. And then that way we can just fill in the gaps with weld if we need to. Okay. Take 2. Let's see if I can do this more gracefully this time. Oh, I moved it. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. Aerospace quality. That's what we're going for here. Aerospace quality. Alright. Let's check ourselves again. Did I really put it right on? Look at that. Right on. This can come out. Right there. And that's got to move. So 6 1/2. Eight. 6 1/2. We're good. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's get some tacks in it, and then we'll clean it up more and put some beefier welds on it. Turn this bad boy on. Let's see what we can do. Let's get some gloves on, dummy. All right, step 2. Hey, do you guys like how I'm welding right here by these old jugs of lacquer thinner and stuff? It's pretty smart. But nothing bad happened, so must have been okay. All right, so we've got the base, we'll say, started. I need to make some cross beams to go from the front to the back. But as far as being sturdy, I mean, you know, it's rocking a little bit because of the floor, but it's pretty tough. So, all right, let me get probably just some more angle iron, and we'll go from the front to the back. Oh, it is even. Optical illusion? Yep, optical illusion. Joe, you big dummy. Okay, let's tack. All right, we are all tacked in. A little bit of an optical illusion makes it look like it's not straight, but yeah, I guess it's straight. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. That's pretty sturdy. So I don't think the torque of this 40 horsepower motor is going to flip it over or anything. Tipping it. Yeah, and once the motor is all together on here, it's going to be heavier, so you'll put more downforce on it. I think it's good. I think it'll be good. I was gonna run some beams across here, but it's not really twisting. I think for now we'll leave it like that. We can always add them if we need to, but the motor looks good on there. We want a little bit of give in these poles, so when we're bolting it up, we can move them a little bit, just in case we need to line them up. But yeah, for a bunch of scrap metal, that's not too bad. Let's get the motor part off and finish up the welding on that, and then we'll make the holder. I'm going to make something that comes off of here to hold my little gas tank to feed the engine while it's running. Actually, we can do some more welding while it's sitting like this. Let's do that. Keep this up a little bit, give us a little more wire. Honestly, I should be using the stick welder to do this, but this one works fine. This little, this is a cheap little titanium Harbor Freight welder. It's a 110 welder. The thing was like 150 bucks or something. And I actually like it. I'm not a professional welder, so don't just take my word for it, but I like it. It seems to work good. It's easy to use, so I've been using it on everything. You know, just because I don't feel like catching on fire today, I'll just throw something over some of this stuff. kind of like a wick. It'll at least give me a few seconds before it blows up. Okay, let's unbolt this and work on the rest of it. My towel's on fire. That makes sense since it was. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, let's, I'm gonna put it back on the motor, flip it back up, and we'll start making the holder for the gas tank. Now I want something that comes off of here to hold the gas tank, maybe in this area. So, let me go see what I've got. I think I want something that bolts on. I don't think I want to weld it on there, but let's see what I've got. Alright, I found this little piece of scrap tubing here, and I've got this bracket. I don't even know what it came from, it's just been in my scrap pile. So I think what I'm going to do, this can bolt here. I'll weld this on here to the edge like this, and then the tank can mount up here. I can mount a plate to this if I need to, or I can drill holes straight through it for the tank, whatever I need. So then when I don't need the tank on there, I can unbolt it and take it off and, you know, leave the motor just sitting there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, get this welded on here, and then I'll drill. Okay, so there we go. Bracket welded on there. We'll drill some holes in there. This should be plenty high enough to feed gas down to the carburetor. I can move it up a little bit if I need to. Yeah, right about there. And then we can bolt it on and off as we need to. So let me drill this out, and then we'll start getting this thing cleaned up. Okay, there we go. All right, again, this is still not tightened down because I'm going to take it back off to clean it up. I think that's it. I have access, even with this on here, to all the bolts. Nothing should go this way. Maybe if I had a fan on here, it could be a problem. But, you know, I'll deal with that when I have to. The frame itself is pretty sturdy. So I think the only thing left to do is take it all apart, clean it up a little bit. I'm just going to quickly wire wheel it. I'm not going to go nuts on it. And I'm just going to spray it with some black paint. So that should be it. I do have a bunch of casters. Locking casters. These came off of something else that was being scrapped that I hung on to. So these are going to go on there. They're a little crusty, but those should be okay. Nice plastic nylon wheels. Like I said, they lock. So we should be good with these. That's basically about it. Once I get it cleaned up and painted, I'll have a total of maybe $15 into this because it was all scrap metal. I bought the bolts. Those are like $1 something a piece. So I spent like $8, $9 on bolts. Can of spray paint's $8 or $9. So $15, $16 total. And this will be good enough that I can put a completed motor on here, starter, flywheel, everything. We'll have our gas tank. I do need to make something to hold the battery, but we'll worry about that later because I want to get kind of a dedicated battery for my startups and whatnot. So I'll build something for that a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to get this cleaned up. And if everything goes according to plan, you guys have already seen this stand in action because the plan is to put out the video for the finishing up of the junk motor before I put out this video. So if that worked out, you guys already saw the stand. Hopefully it worked and didn't break and fall over while we were trying to run everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you think, why'd you bother to do that? It's a piece of junk. But if you guys are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.